Welcome to Moonstone Update. I'm Mark Beshard, the Managing Editor of Moonstone Publications. Here's a look at some of the stories we've covered over the past week. But first, please hit the subscribe button. Share this video with your friends and colleagues. The FSCA has published the final version of its conduct standard on third-party cell captive insurance business. The FSCA said the main objective of the conduct standard is to set out the requirements with which cell captive insurers must comply to mitigate conduct of business-related risks. One of the most important changes is that only cell owners that are non-mandated intermediaries will have to be tied agents of the cell captive insurer and not any of its associated NMIs. The survey has revealed a range of insights into how Black consumers are saving and investing, how they are accumulating funds towards retirement, as well as their attitudes towards financial advice. More than 60% of respondents were happy for their funds to be invested in both South African companies and international companies, with less than 15% wanting to invest only in South African companies. The share of people who say they have no retirement plan at all reverted to 46% this year after reaching 50% last year. That is the single bright spot in this year's retirement reality report from 10x Investments. 10x says the outlook for most South Africans' retirement has deteriorated since it published its first report 5 years ago. Although unrealistic expectations and ignorance play a role, the main issue is economic hardship. The head of the Financial Intelligence Centre says South Africa will be grey-listed next year because it has not met the requirements of the Financial Action Task Force for combating money laundering and terrorism financing. Olesizwe Kanyele told Business Times that South Africa has not only failed to deal with corruption and state capture, but it has failed to recover the assets that are the proceeds of crime and that have left the country. The Supreme Court of Appeal has upheld the Gautrain provincial government's claim against Zurich Insurance for the cost of repairing damage caused while the tunnels for the Gautrain were under construction. The tunnels did not meet the specifications set out regarding maximum permissible levels of water ingress. Zurich brought the appeal on 3 grounds, one of which was prescription. The National Council of Provinces Select Committee on Finance has postponed voting on the amendments to the schedules to the Financial Intelligence Centre Act because of an impasse between National Treasury and the National Clothing Retailers Federation. The NCRF, which represents the country's major clothing retailers, lobbied for a carve-out that would exempt credit providers that provide credit facilities in the form of retail store cards from becoming accountable institutions. The Prudential Authority has published a frequently asked questions document for policyholders of Constantia Insurance who are asking what now after the short-term insurer went into liquidation. Unfortunately, the answers will probably not bring them much cheer. It says the winding up and disposal of Constantia's underlying assets and the finalization of pending claims will take some time, with no guarantee that policyholders with valid claims will be paid out in full. That's all we have for this week. You can read these stories and many more on our website, moonstone.co.za. Until next time, here's wishing you all the best from the team at Moonstone Information Refinery.